In this video lecture, let us understand how to deal the numericals that are connected in the boiling and condensation. So we are starting with the boiling numerical. In the boiling numerical, generally a vessel has been given, and in the vessel it has been heated to a particular temperature, and heat flux and evaporation rate are supposed to be found. Let us see the first problem. In the first problem, the water at atmospheric pressure and saturation temperature is boiled in a 250 diameter polished stainless steel pan which is maintained at 116 degrees centigrade. Calculate the heat flux and evaporation rate. In the given problem, the diameter D is given to be 250 mm. 250 mm. We are supposed to convert into meter, so it is a 0.25 meter. Then the all temperature is given as a 116 degree centigrade. Since the boiling temperature has been told, the boiling temperature of water is 100 degree centigrade. That has been considered as as a T sat temperature. Delta T, the difference in temperature, is a 116 minus 100, that is a 16 degree centigrade. Next, we have to find out, or we have to use the data handbook to find out the properties of water. To find out the properties of water at 100 degree centigrade, right? It is a you will get that in page number 22 in the edition 8th edition of the data handbook. Uh, the density of the liquid is 961 kg per meter cube. Cl is 4216 joule per kg Kelvin, and mu L is nothing but rho L into uh, mu L, that is equal to 961 into 0.293 into 10 to the power minus 6. On multiplication, you get that value to be 0.282 into 10 to the power minus 3 kg per meter second. HFG, which is required to find out this value, and surface tension, those values will get in the data handbook in page number 145 and 146 respectively. So, on referring the handbook, HFG is 2256.9, that is in kilojoule per kg Kelvin, but we want everything in joule per kg Kelvin. Therefore, this value 2256.9 into 10 to the power 3 joule per kg Kelvin is a very appropriate. Then surface tension sigma is 0.0589 Newton per meter, and Prandtl number is equal to 1.740. N value is a 1 for water. For water, it is a N value. Therefore, since we are supposed to find out the heat flux, using the formula Q by A is equal to mu L HFG into here G into rho L by rho V divided by surface tension to the power 0.5, and here the specific heat Cl into delta T divided by CSF into HFG into Prandtl to the power n, and here it is a to the power 3, whole to the power 3. My suggestion to the student is you consider this is the first term, this is the second term, and this is the third term. And you find out the values separately and you can multiply later on. So in the exam, if you made, you can recheck your answer. If you have made any mistake over any part, it is easy to correct. Uh, One first term, second term, or third term. Otherwise, it is a it will be not traceable point to find out what is the fault you have made. So, substituting the values what you have already taken up, that is a, for the first term it is a 0.28 into 10 to the power minus 3 into HFG, that is a 2256.9 into 10 to the power 3. So here it is the first term finished. Then the second term, let me write in the bracket so that we can differentiate very easily. G value is 9.81 into 961 minus 0.058. That is the density of the vapor, that is the density of the steam, which is very, very small. In many cases, this part can be neglected, and to the divided by surface tension, what we taken is 0.0589, and it is to the power zero point 0.5. Going to the third term, it is a 4216 into 116 minus 100 divided by CSF will be 0.013 into HFG is a 2256.9, and as I told earlier, it should be in a joule per kg Kelvin, and the Prandtl number you will get as a 1.74, right? And the power n is 1, so there is no changes in our value into 3. So as I told, you calculate the first term separately, second term separately, and third term separately. If you have made any mistake, it is later on you can, when rechecking, it will be easier to carry on. So on multiplication, the first term will get the answer to be 636.4458, and the second term will get as a 399.9478, and the third term you get as a 2.30, and on multiplication we'll get the answer as a 587.2347 kilowatt per meter square. Why? Because we have used a heat flux. If it is a, this is the heat transfer. If it is divided by A, we will get the heat flux. So next one is to find out. Therefore, I want to find out what is the power of the burner. To find the power of the power of the burner, we can use a pi d square by 4, because it's a tan. If it is a, suppose if it is a rod, then or this one, heating element is a rectangle, I can use this one. But it's a tan, so I'm using this term rather than a second term what I have mentioned. Pi d square by 4 into 5, that is the heat transfer, 587.2347 into 10 to the power 3. So diameter, we know that the diameter here is a 0.25. It is a 0.250 square divided by 4 into 587.347. So the Q value comes to be 28.8258 kilowatt. This is the heat transfer rate. Next one, we are supposed to find out the evaporation rate. To find the evaporation rate, the second part, to find evaporation rate, evaporation rate, that is a m dot. I can use Q is equal to mass flow rate into HFG. So Q is equal to 28.8258 into 10 to the power 3 is equal to mass flow rate into 2256.9 into 10 to the power 3. So on calculation, you will get the value to be 0.01277 kg per second. So it is better we present that in a hour. So you multiply this answer with the 60 into 60. So this mass flow rate which is in a kg per second. So we'll get the answer to be 45.98 kg per hour. This is the either you can present this is answer in kg per second or a kg per hour. The next problem is water at atmospheric pressure is to be boiled in a polished copper pan. The diameter of the pan is 350 mm and is kept at 115 degree centigrade. We are supposed to calculate first one the power of the burner, second one is the rate of evaporation, and the third one is the critical heat flux. Here one should understand the pan boiling water of a temperature is a 100 degree centigrade. Boiling of a water is a happens at a 100 degree centigrade, and the pan is at a 115 degree centigrade. Means the the wall temperature, this is the wall temperature. Excess temperature is the wall temperature minus the saturation temperature. In this case it is a 150 minus a 100, that is equal to 15 degree centigrade, that we call as a excess, delta T or delta T excess. So one more important thing is a CSF, right? Which type of material we have used? By using copper and water. So the combination is a copper and water. The vessel is copper and fluid is water. We can refer the handbook and we can see this value turns to be 0.013. Therefore, if I have to see what are the other properties of water, I have to refer page number 100 to find out the properties of water. We have to refer page number 20, page number 22. You get a density of the liquid is 961 kg per meter cube. Cl value will be 4216 joule per kg Kelvin, and it is, if you have to find out the mu L, it is a rho L into VL, and here it is a turns to be 961 into 0.293 into 10 to the power minus 6. That turns to be 0.282 into 10 to the power minus 3 kg per meter second. Surface tension, if I have to see, that is equal to 0.0589 Newton meter, and Prandtl number will be 1.740, and of course n value is equal to 1, and HFG is the same value because same value like earlier one, that is equal to 2256 kilojoule, and we want in joule, so we have to multiply that in a 10 to the power 3. HFG, so the HFG value is 2256.9 into 10 to the power 3, that is in joule per kg Kelvin, and this is available in page number 145, the data handbook. Once that is done, we can find out the first part, that is a Q by A, that is a mu L into HFG into G into rho L by rho V divided by surface tension to the power 0.5 5 and CL delta T divided by CSF into HFG into Prandtl to the power n whole to the power 3. So here the first term, if I have to do that one, that is a 0.282 into 10 to the power minus 3 into HFG, it is a 2256.9 into 10 to the power 3. And second term, I am writing in the bracket, that is a 9.81 into 961 minus 0.598 divided by, so this term actually can be neglected because it is a very small term compared to 961. Generally we can neglect it, but in this problem I have taken into consideration. And surface tension, once again you will get that value from the data handbook. Don't forget to put the power 0.5, otherwise the entire thing goes wrong. Then the third term is a 4216 into uh, delta t is 15 divided by 0.013 into 2256.9 into 10 to the power 3, and Prandtl number is a 1.740, and entire thing to the power 3. So the first term will get a 636.4458, and the second term turns to be 399.94, and the third term it will be 1.9. On multiplication, the Q by A, or heat flux value, will get to be 483.62 kilowatt per meter square. So if I want to find the power of the burner, then I have to multiply the heat flux into area. To find the power of the burner, power of the power of the burner, I have to multiply the heat flux Q by A into area. So I will get a heat. I will get a power. So that is nothing but for this we got as 483.62, and area A is equal to pi t square by 4. So if factors to be found out, it is a pi by 4 into 350 into 10 to the power minus 3 whole square, and that turns to be uh, 46.52 kilowatt. So this is the power of the burner. To find out the second part, to find the rate of evaporation, then that is the mass flow rate. To find out that one, Q is equal to M into HFG, and Q value we know that one. Mass flow rate is a question. In this question, it has been asked the rate of evaporation rate, that is nothing but mass flow rate, and HFG is a also known thing, but it should be in a joule per kg Kelvin. So both the sides we have to see it is in a Q should be in watt. So it is a 46.52 into 10 to the power 3, and mass flow rate into HFG. HFG we obtained as a 2256.9 into 10 to the power 3. So 10 to the power get cancels, and I can find out the mass flow rate, and it is a 0.02 kg per second. If I want in a hour, then the same answer I can multiply by 3600 to get in kg per hour. The third part is asked is a critical heat flux. To find out the critical heat flux, at the critical heat flux, there will be burnout of the pointer that takes place. We have the formula Q by A is equal to 0.18 HFG into rho V, and surface tension G into rho L minus rho V divided by rho V to the power 0.25. So Q by A is equal to 0.18. HFG is a 2185.05 into 10 to the power 3 into density of the row is 0.826. Surface tension, we know that it is a 0.0538 into G is 9.81, and other terms I'm going to write in the bottom 0.286, and the rho L value, rho L value is a, it is not proper to write in this manner. So let me write in the bottom itself, so that the second term I'm writing over here. There is no space left out. So this is a 0.826, right? The third term, or in the bracket terms, I'm writing the bracket term I'm writing over here. That is a 0.0538. G is 9.81, and rho L, density of the liquid, that is a 953 minus 0.826 divided by the density of the vapor is 0.286. That entire thing to the power 0.25. Don't forget to place that power 0.25. Therefore, Q by A is equal to 1613.46 kilowatt per meter square. This is the value of the uh, third condition, the third question which has been asked.